Hello everyone who is watching this video. My name is Alima Salykova. Today my partner is for reflecting interview ICT to Nazım Usina. Nazım, I will ask you several questions, and also before our session we defined 3 topics that we will discuss about some differences in education of your previous studies compared to new ZIP and new program, and about your worrying in public speaking and some other difficulties faced in the education of new ZIP program. So my first question is about, I know you are fresh graduated from other Kazakhstan university, where the education system is different from Nazarbayev University. Could you please explain the main differences you noticed? Thank you.
First of all, I would like to underline that Nazarbayev University has independent status of creating their own curriculum during teaching students, where the Kazakhstan University mostly have some common template how to conduct their studying. And in Kazakhstan universities, they mostly mix the Soviet practice with Bologna system, where Nazarbayev University mostly emphasize on Bologna system. That means that they mostly impose students to be prepared before coming to lectures and asking questions for their teachers to deepen their knowledge, and especially to be prepared for seminar as much as possible. While in Kazakhstan University, they are mostly teachers making lecture, and just finally they can ask questions at the seminars. And it's quite really big difference between the attitude how to teach students. And the second thing, I should like to mention that there is some difference between the attitude of teachers. In the first case, in Nazarbayev University, they are glad to give you feedback how to improve your mark and overall your understanding of some topics, while in Kazakhstan universities, they are less willing and just like reluctant to give you this opportunity.
May I also clarify what kind of approach of education you like of Kazakhstan University or in Nazarbayev, other like your previous education?
Well, I think it will be mostly regarded to the attitude of teachers, because in Kazakhstan universities they are not so happy to see you at office hours and something like this, and help you to understand something that you can't find in something like this. While in Nazarbayev University, they are mostly willing to do this.
Yeah, thank you. My second question, you mentioned about some difficulties you have with public presentation. Could you please explain the reason of having such kind of difficulties in public presentation?
Honestly, every time when I have been assigned to make some public presentation, I usually do some a little bit of research to prepare information, and then I commence to perform my speech before the public speaking, just to be sure that it's well prepared. But when there is a time, I'm being anxious, and then finally it makes me feel worried about this, and when there is a time to perform it, I can forget my words, which is really really bad for me, and especially for audience, because it's kind of shame thing to admit that it's maybe just my mental peculiarity or just physical specialties where that I could manage sometimes. I think it's kind of difficult for me from this side.
And could you please tell what is your biggest fear regarding public speaking? What are your worries in public presentation?
As I before mentioned, that when you're forgetting your words, audience is tries to help you to remember some things, and it's really kind of a pity from their side because they really sympathize for me. You want to try to help me, but you couldn't answer this, and just finally you fail this, and it's really big fee for me just to be shamed in front of a big audience, especially when it's recording and someone can see it.
Okay, I got it. Let's start with this third topic question. Overall, the NewZ program is the interesting program with various curriculum. What difficulties you face during the classes having the education NewZ program?
Mm. First thing, it was unusual for me to hear English speech from the teachers overall, and especially it was quite difficult to understand what kind of requirements for them are going to be expected to be well prepared for their lessons, and especially the syllabus topic where every, I think maybe student just couldn't find how to understand what exact assignment is grading and how we should be prepared. So sometimes it was quite maybe harshy to understand what a grade is going to be expected in some classes, I think. And the second thing is maybe just like meeting deadlines because it's far from our culture to be always on the time in doing also on a schedule. Maybe yeah, it's a big issue for us. Maybe just my personal just like psychology, but it's quite something difficult for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have the same maybe like difficulties with the meeting deadlines, and for the first 2 months I tried to balance it, and now I'm doing the task on time a bit before. And let me also clarify what difficulties or maybe what is more challenge subject you like have, maybe statistics on academic writing on maybe other classes. You have some difficulties.
As you mentioned in the previous interview that you had some difficulty with foundational statistics, it was also for me because usually I'm so mostly in humanitarian human who taught law, maybe in some kind of accounting, but a little bit, but mostly law. As far as we know, it mostly work with the words, speech, and with legislature, where there is no number at all to remember. And I just forget my mouth. In the last time when I worked with numbers, it was just school time, and this gap, just like 4 years, made me just to harshly solve some equations and so on. So foundational statistics was really harsh for me to handle with this, and especially with courseworks because it had some deadlines and to make them correctly.
And also, let me also clarify about second question. How will you deal with your public presentation fear? Maybe you have some like you will take some classes, oral classes, maybe public speaking classes, or another like maybe activities that will help you to deal with public speaking.
Honestly, I can make underline that I assigned for several clubs to practice my public speaking. And second thing I think is just the advice of our teacher Kevin Yu, who gave me several things how to be better on our public speaking. The first thing is just like calm down and make some deep exhale, not to worry. But just like he said, that worrying is not so big deal. It's just kind of natural thing because maybe you are feeling responsibility, in my opinion. So that's why you can worry. And third is just like repeat your speech before coming to class several times. I think it was quite helpful for me just to handle with this and just tackle overall. And I mostly also I just find some really good advice from internet and YouTube how speakers deal with this big issue.
And overall, would you advise your friends to have to enroll in Nazarbayev University or your previous Kazakhstan university?
I think I would strongly recommend this because it's always interesting to go through different educational systems and just live to another side with deeply interact with Bologna system. So I would recommend them.
Thank you. This is the end of our question. Another thank you very much for your answers. It was very interesting. I would like to conclude. We discussed your experience in UZ program, the difference of your program. You have education in other Kazakhstan university. We talked about your fears and your future action about public speaking and difficulties in other classes. So I wish you good luck. Everything will be okay, I guess. I hope. So,
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.